Hi guys, and welcome to another game of Wargame Airland Battle. Today we're playing on the map Telemark 4v4 Total Destruction 50 minutes. I'm playing with Tank, Ivan, Rogov and Gaddafi, and we're playing against Omar Bradley, Gora Sahib, USMC and Fragmobile. I'm playing with a Russian deck and I'm heading up to take Ivan and Chariton, possibly to do battle in these trees and in Nicholas. Tank is using a Russian deck and is gone for Jot, and Gaddafi is using a packed mixed deck and is going for Fedor. And is he getting the laner as well? Yes, he's getting the laner as well. And Ivan is a Russian deck and he's going for Anna. And Dmitry is being held by Ivan as well. So, and who's holding this? Tank is holding Gregory. So, strange start to this game in that there wasn't a lot of opposition, to be honest. And like, look, 2.5 minutes in and no shots fired. Well, shots fired, but nobody's got any points. There's the first kill is a truck when they put some units in there. That's me. I get 1 point. Because after 3 minutes, 1 point's been scored and we're in the lead. Woohoo! So basically, either these guys aren't very good or they are very good and they're playing a defensive game. Yes, you guessed it, it proved to be the latter. So I push up my T-80As and my BMPTs into here and put my 2 Tunguskas behind. And my other Tunguska protecting this UAZ. Put my 2 Tunguskas there and I bring out some infantry to put in these trees, followed by some Strela infantry to back them up in case of any air attacks. And I bring a UAZ into Chariton and put an Afghansky over here just to stun any planes that hope to fly over our airspace. Meanwhile in Jot, Tank's sort of just consolidating his positioning his units out and around, and his tanks in positions whereby they can take anything that appears over the ridges. Gaddafi's doing a similar thing but pushing more over towards the enemy and trying to take control of these clumps of trees just to sort of east of the central area. And Anna, and Ivan is put himself down into Anna. He's managed to unload everything, so he's not engaging in any fights as yet, and he's put his Malukas over here to protect his flank against any armoured assaults as well. So he's just building there. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, I do put recon, try to put some recon up the left there, and push forward my infantry a little bit. But not a great deal was happening too early on in this game. Gaddafi had sort of the early battles with this central area over here. There's obviously put a lot of infantry around this area because of all the Dorniers that are present, and so they are bringing stuff out, but not a lot happened early in the game. I do bring a Draken in to try to take out my chopper, which misses on the way out, but then turns around. They've also brought in another chopper. One thing to note here is that it is an elite infantry carrying chopper, so it's dropped its infantry off somewhere and they are elite, and there was 2 of them, so just bear that in mind. Immediately that my recon squad gets dropped off, it gets artied, and that sets the tone for the game. Lots of arty, lots of their infantry being in and around Nicholas, and lots of artillery being pumped in as soon as they spot my units. So the first group of infantry we come across are here that were buried in this tree line. They actually came out to attack my recon chopper, which again gets taken out by that Draken immediately. So I push forward my infantry and I do Buratino them, which I brought in actually for Nicholas, but I spotted these and just Buratino'd them on the way out, bringing in some more Tunguskas as well because they do seem to have a decent air force. Meanwhile, Tank's trying to probe down here, but he's having a bit problem getting further than this ridge line. So I'm thinking this guy's got to he's not an idiot, he's got to put a lot of infantry into Nicholas, so I've got to be a little bit careful. I bring some infantry up and push them into these trees here, and bring a T-72 up for support for when I start to make my push. He's seen these already, so he starts to artillery them. He's got this recon chopper, which I can't really reach at the moment, and he's put it behind all the buildings and trees and things. My T-72 starts to have a go at these Ustiara, whatever they're called, and I bring some Novas out to have a go at them as well. And immediately my Novas fire. Oh, actually no, the artillery are firing on my infantry in that tree line. I'll bring a forward chopper as well. I really want to get rid of these infantry, so my Nonas fire again. Not sure if I take them out, but I do bring forward some more Spetsnaz choppers, unload some more infantry, which I'm going to put in this tree line, ready for an assault into Nicholas. Meanwhile, in the middle, not too much is happening, I don't think. So just consolidation of Jot. Gaddafi's continuing his fight for this tree line over here, and Ivan is absorbing attacks with some cheap American tanks, are they? Not sure what they are. They don't look too hot, to be honest. I think they're just cheap American tanks. They're going to get owned by those anti-tank guns. Yeah, they're getting destroyed. So they're rolling a few trucks up there, getting taken out. I mean, he's got these Conkers, he's got supply in, he's bringing more supply in. So if these Conkers are probably the best anti-tank gun infantry in the game. So if they keep them supplied, then they're going to stay. Yeah, they're going to stay cool. Okay, so more supply there for him. So he's racking up. He's the biggest point score at the moment. So basically, he's sitting there, dug in, and absorbing any attacks. Meanwhile, I have Buratino's the edge of the city, but I haven't moved in yet, and I'm bringing this Mi-26 to resupply my Buratino. Push up some infantry and pull back the half-dead infantry and push my Spetsnaz up towards these trees, this clump of trees over here. In the meantime, he continues to artillery, and he has actually taken out, I missed it, but he has actually taken out my Nonas, which are probably dead around here somewhere. Is that them? Can't even see. No, that's just no. My Nonas have actually disintegrated, so they're dead anyway. He pushes some infantry up. I've got some infantry in there already, and he spots my Mi-26 with his artillery and destroys my Mi-26 full of fuel, which is a real pain in the ass. Okay, so I've got one more supply chopper, so I've got to be really careful with that now. So meanwhile, it's as we were in the middle with Gaddafi continuing in the middle here, and Ivan continuing on the right here. They are sort of trying to push things through on these trees, I think, and now, I mean, Ivan knows where they are. So he's basically absorbing attacks. Gaddafi's racking up the most points now, mainly from this battle in the middle here. And they're pushing forward here now as well. These Dorniers, I don't think they decide against it, which is probably a good decision. Meanwhile, over here, I missed it, but I did RT these again. Sorry, I did Buratino these again and push some infantry forward to try and assault this place. With mixed effects. I mean, I managed. They still, despite the Buratino, they've still got plenty of units in there. And again, artillery comes in yet again, and I have to micro them back. It's just they're just not going to make it on this occasion. We've also got some resupply in there somewhere, so they're able to resupply some of these damaged units. Although I'm doing my best to keep prepping them. I have brought in a couple of Malkas myself to try and redress the artillery situation, and another Mi-26, my final one, bringing that in to resupply my Buratino. I've also brought in some Spetsnaz here, and also over here, and I'll push those forward into that tree and just leave these to get ready for perhaps another attack if I'm feeling brave enough to want to lose more units. Meanwhile, we have got the lead, so we're not doing too badly. But again, I'm not sure about this tactic for them. I mean, digging in and hoping to kill more than they kill. It is a good tactic, but only if you've already got a good lead. So if you've got like 1,000, 2,000 point lead and the other team's getting on top of you, then yeah, dig in. But at this moment, they need to be attacking somewhere. They are trying to attack Ivan, but they're not doing it in a very good way, because I mean, attacking a town with Abrams, I mean, it's not the best idea unless they're all smoked or all napalmed first. So, yeah, I'm not sure. So, it just gives Ivan nice easy targets and he's able to take them out with these conkers. He's still doing a good job. They are trying to put units through the trees as well, and he's keeping them at bay. So, Spetsnaz just yet again I've Buratino'd them again. I bring in a T-72 for a bit of support, push these Spetsnaz forward. They do take out one group of infantry, and there's only 2 left now. But this fire goes out, and as soon as the fire goes out, they get attacked by this group of infantry from this side of the town, which pretty much annihilates my Spetsnaz, so they definitely have to pack at that point. So, what to do next? It seems that I can't quite break through into Nicholas. It's full of infantry. So what I do is, I decide to, or actually first I do badly, is push forward that T-80A and get sniped by an anti-tank gun from this bush. So this bush has got anti-tank weapons in it. I've managed to pull back my other T-80A and bring this Buratino forward and fire this Buratino into this tree, these trees here, to try and get rid of those anti-tank guns. Meanwhile, as soon as they spot any anti-air I've got, they do just sort of artillery it to death, basically. So it's a little bit of a stalemate at the moment, and you can see that tank pushes some motor strelky just across the ridge line there. You can see how many units. I bring in a couple of Su-24C just trying to take out some of their anti-air, which it does do. It takes out a couple, but they've got a lot more. See, 4 flak Panzers sitting just there, so that needs to be taken out as well. So they've got a lot. You've got a lot of units here. So what I decided to do, I bring in some heavies. I bring in 3 T-80Us, 2 Tunguskers and a buck. And the idea is to bring them up here into this area, and another T-80A goes down before I get my Tungusker up to take out that hot there, that gazelle hot. Take them both out, nice. So I'm going to push my tanks, supported by my Tunguskers, up here. Now they're heavily armoured tanks, they're T-80Us, so they can take a lot of damage. And they should be able to get rid of a lot of the stuff on this plateau between these 2 ridges, which will help me and will also help tank so that he can finally push over the ridge as well. Then he's getting harassed all the time. Gaddafi's sort of moving around Sokol's trying to pick off these Dorniers, and Ivan Rogov he's doing his thing down here in this town. So the T-80Us have made their way up, immediately take out a Mistral and start to push forward. So at least we can hopefully get this ridge cleared of their dug in units. So I get 1 T-80U into this tree line and then push the other 2 forward. Tunguska supporting. There is a recon right in there. So that gets taken out, of course. A Gazelle Hot goes down. They send in some planes now to try and deal with these T-80U push. I managed to luckily get a couple of logistics trucks. I've got a T-80U right there in the tree there, a T-80U there, and a T-80U I just microing back because it's all its computers are buggered up. Got 1 Tunguska and still got the buck there. They're bringing in more aircraft to try and take out these T-80Us. That one goes down. They're bringing in another one. It's aiming at. What's it aiming at? It's actually aiming at my Tunguska, I think. Not sure what it was aiming at. Gazelle Hot gets shots off at my T-80U. It's on 1 health, and I managed just to pull it back just in time. The Gazelle Hot shoots at it and takes out my T-80U. Send in my Seed aircraft again, but this time they both go down. There we go. Boom. Unfortunate, but they've got a whole load of anti-air just sitting there of Nicholas. And that's what did for those. So we've managed to get a fair amount of the way along this plateau. We've managed to clear this road at least, and then Tank is now bringing down his decent but less armoured tanks. There's another spotter there to take out the rest and hopefully gain complete control of this ridge now. And I put a BMPT in that, just in those trees, in place of that T-80U, and I put a BMPT here, bring up from Afghanskis to try to pepper and stun their air units when they fly over. I seem to have lost my some of my anti as well, but I think that was lost 1 TA to you and some anti-air, but I think it was worth it to gain that ground there. And I have another go with the Buratino just to keep them well hustled in that town. Also to try and take out a little bit of this anti-air maybe. So, good job. Just micro my Buratino back for refueling. Meanwhile, Gaddafi continuing his struggle in the middle here against these units, and Ivan continuing to hold this region well protected from any flank attacks. Well, very well protected from any flank attacks. All this down here. He's trying to push forward a little bit. He's got some recon going out. They've obviously got units in these forests. It's got loads of stuff down here trying to protect the town from that direction. So I can't see them breaking through. Basically, Ivan is doing here in this area what this guy is doing here in Nicholas to us. So the plan, I want team speak with Tank and Ivan actually, and me and Tank decided to do a dual attack. So we're going to get 2 Buratinos and a load of infantry and stuff, and we're going to try and attack Nicholas together this time. So there's 2 of us attacking, and you will see the outcome of that in a few moments. So this logistics truck gets sucked dry immediately, trying to repair these things. Well, it only repairs it by 1 bar. These TATUs take so much logistics to repair. And yeah, so not too much happening for a little while, I think. Have a quick look round. All is quiet on the western front, just momentarily. So basically, we've got all our units in position nearly. Buratino, so the smoke goes in first from Tank, and then both of our Buratinos fire together. So we hit 2 different places with both of our Buratinos. That's 4 different lots of napalm go down. Create them a little bit of trouble. They know something's happening. There's 4 M1 Abrahams just spotted going into that tree line there, so they know that there's a defensive coming, and they're just preparing themselves for it. Tank attack moves all his units into the town. He fast moves his units. I attack move. He gets his BMT a bit too close, and he needs to unload. He's pushing them probably a bit far. He needs to unload as quick as he can, and don't push these BMPTs in too far because they're going to get owned. Yeah, he needs to stop them really. I mean, you can see how many units they've got in here, and they're all elite or veterans, so they're going to do a lot of damage to his units. But at least he's got his units in there. We know what's in there now. We know what we're up against. I push my Spetsnaz forward into the corner of the town here. He's pushing T-80As a little bit closer again. I get my BMPT up there, pushing forward my Afghanskis. My BMPT pushes up, gets taken out. They've got some weapons up here with sort of some light tanks or vehicles. I don't know what they are actually. But luckily, Gaddafi decides he wants to get in on party, and he sends us a whole load of stuff. Loads of flame tanks, napalm infantry in Urals, Afghanskis. So this will be like the 3rd wave. So me and Tank, and now Gaddafi's. I'm bringing in a load of T-72s. And these T-72s, they're really good up close, and they will hopefully support all these infantry as they try to move into the town. So Gaddafi unloads nice and early, and pushes his units in. Tanks bring in some extra units as well. In fact, these infantry in Urals are tanks infantry. So he's pushing them in as well, and some in BTRs. Some more BTR forces as well. Infantry now going this village into this town. All T-72s firing away. The M1 Abrahams have come out to play, but these T-72s up close there really, and I've got some choppers firing in on these Abrams as well. Napalm coming in, bombers coming in from Gaddafi, and they bring their own planes in, and their own napalm comes down onto our infantry as well. So I'll let you enjoy that spectacle. That's pretty amazing. Pretty amazing attack, pretty amazing defense as well. just continue to throw my T-72s forward. Try to keep my choppers firing where and when they can. Just need to get rid of this stupid recon up here somehow. But I'm not too bothered about using these T-72s. They are 40 points, which is quite a lot, I suppose. But I want to keep the momentum going. I want to push them out as much as we can. I don't want them having any chance of retaking this town. So I've got a couple of T-80s and some PT-90s with anti-tank weapons pushing coming up, and some Afghanskis to help out. They push their Pumas forward. A little bit of desperation, maybe. They're probably looking to take out some of these infantry, but they're not going to do too well probably against T-72s, and certainly not against these Afghanskis once they're firing. In fact, this Afghanski gets some shots off at last and takes out that recon chopper up there. And bring forward all my infantry and stuff from back in this tree line. Bring all this forward now as well. My Tunguska's getting absolutely hammered back here, but still courageously fights on and fires on. And there's a Phantom coming in as well. Don't know where that's going. That's attacking my Tunguska as well, and just miss. Tunguska just moved forward in time there. But I'm still pushing forward. Now look at all this stuff in the town. We have finally, with the help of Tank and Gaddafi, managed to take this town. And you can see how much stuff and how much firepower is required to take a town that's full of infantry. It ain't that easy. And Ivan has just sat there with his infantry as well in this town, basically absorbing any attacks that come, but they haven't done the attacks like we've done the attack. They haven't really used napalm and smoke as much. They've just tried to attack this. But to attack a town with infantry, full of infantry, you need napalm, you need smoke, you need to get your units really nice and close so that they can all engage. In the meantime, however, I continue to push forward as much as I can. Tank brings some heavies, some main battle tanks up to try and push forward to the north into Nicholas. We want to get this CV. We haven't got the CV yet. I put a UAZ actually onto Nicholas in this tree line down here, so that they've still got a CV somewhere, which is keeping us from completely capturing Nicholas. So they've brought in some French medium tanks here, which again are like the T-72s, are good up close, and they've got 3 weapon types as well, including an autocannon. But I put these choppers in to try and just pin these back a little bit and push these choppers back. I'll just get the phone, hold on. So we still need to just get that CV in there. I'm not sure. It's been, oh, I've marked it in fact, so someone's marked it, I've marked it. So hopefully someone will send in some artillery or a plane or something. They're still sending their planes in. They're a bit desperate, but they're still fighting on, and there comes that artillery, and so there it goes. It's gone at last. Someone put some artillery in at last. So we've finally got control of Nicholas. Nicholas is ours. There's a BMP just pushing in there, and meets some AMXs and gets annihilated. Nice. So I think job done in Nicholas. There's not much time left. Well, they're going to beat Nicholas with that lot in it, are they? Let's face it. So I think we've pretty much won this game now. I'll just probably end up, yeah, I'll just bring back my choppers a little bit. Like, I mean, it's not really, they're not going to catch up now basically. So GG, well played to my teammates. Ivan holding this position, Gaddafi fighting here first, and then supporting us on the left to take that down, and Tank just getting to Jot first, controlling that area, and again helping me to take Nicholas towards the end of the game. The opponents, as I say, quite well, but yeah, you need to lead first before you start defending. Don't start defending from the start of the game, because you're just onto a loser really, 9 times out of 10, unless you're playing like completely new players. So GG, game over. I did actually get negative sort of. I got more losses than kills in that game, but it was quite aggressive, and I did really push forward. And I lost like MI26 early, and I lost my Nonas quite early. So Sort of makes up for it, but Gaddafi got a good ratio. Ivan got a very good ratio. He did have to just sit in the town, and they were attacking him quite a lot. But he did well to position his troops in the correct way and everything, like he normally does. And yeah, so good game for everyone. I hope you enjoyed it. Please do comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.